The sun was just beginning to rise on the quiet planet of Naros 9, casting a soft orange light over the dusty ground. Far from the crowded cities and busy space routes, a man named Liam walked alone among the rocks and ruins. He was a human, once a skilled engineer in Earth's space navy. Now he lived a peaceful life working with machines, repairing old ships, and collecting scrap parts from crash sites. Liam carried a metal detector in one hand and a small scanner in the other. He had been searching this area for 2 days. A few nights ago, he saw something fall from the sky, a burning ship, crashing far into the forest. He didn't know who it belonged to, but experience told him wreckage often had valuable tech, He moved closer to the crash site. The trees became black and broken. The smell of smoke and fuel still hung in the air. Pieces of metal were scattered everywhere, and the remains of a large alien ship lay crushed between 2 hills. The hull was torn open like paper, and sparks still jumped from damaged wires. Liam stepped carefully, looking around with alert eyes. He wasn't afraid of aliens, he had seen many in his past. But sometimes wild creatures or raiders searched crash sites too. He needed to be cautious. Then he heard something, a sound, soft. Like a whimper, he froze. He listened again. It came from inside the broken ship. He climbed through a crack in the hull and entered the dark remains of the ship's corridor. The inside was still hot, and the walls glowed faintly with alien lights. Smoke made it hard to see, but the sound was clearer now, crying. He followed it carefully, moving past broken screens and smashed doors. Finally, behind a half-collapsed wall, he found them. 2 small figures huddled together, wrapped in torn silver blankets. They were children. Their skin was light purple, their eyes large and glowing faintly blue. One looked older, maybe 10 years, old in human terms. The other looked like a small boy, perhaps 5. The older child held the younger close, staring at Liam with wide, fearful eyes. Liam knelt down slowly and removed his helmet. "It's okay," he said gently. "I'm not here to hurt you." The children didn't speak, but the younger one buried his face in the older girl's chest, shaking. She tightened her arms around him. Liam carefully placed his scanner on the ground and pulled out a water bottle and some food from his pack. He opened the water and took a sip to show it was safe. Then he offered it to them. The girl hesitated. Then slowly she reached out and took it. She helped the boy drink. After a few moments, she accepted the food too. "My name is Liam," he said softly. "What are your names?" Still no answer. But the girl looked at him closely now. She was still scared, but not like before. Liam sat down across from them. "I saw your ship fall. It crashed hard. Were you the only ones on board?" The girl blinked, her eyes sad. Liam's heart sank. He had seen many tragedies in his life, but something about these 2 children, alone, frightened, and silent, touched him deeply. "You don't have to talk," he said. "But you can come with me. I have a safe place. I'll take care of you." She looked at the boy, then back at Liam. After a long pause, she nodded once. Liam carried the small boy in his arms, while the girl followed closely. They walked through the forest, heading back to Liam's small shelter, a quiet home, made from an old cargo ship that he had rebuilt himself. It wasn't fancy, but it was warm, safe, and hidden. Inside, he gave them clean clothes and showed them how to use the washing unit. He cooked a simple meal and gave them blankets. The boy fell asleep quickly, still holding a small round crystal in his hand. The girl sat near him, watching Liam closely as he worked. Liam wanted to ask questions, but he didn't push. He knew trust took time. The next morning, he found the girl sitting outside, looking at the sky. "Do you have a name?" he asked gently. She hesitated. Then in a soft, almost whispering voice, she said, "Zira." Liam smiled. "That's a strong name." She pointed to the sleeping boy inside. "Kyle." Liam nodded. "Zira and Kyle, nice to meet you." For the next few days, Liam helped them adjust. He showed them how to cook, how to use tools, and even taught them some Earth words. Zira was quick to learn. Kyle was shy but began to smile a little more each day. But Liam also noticed strange things. Zira always looked at the stars before sleeping, like she was waiting for someone. She kept a small silver badge hidden in her clothes. And once, when he walked into the room, she was holding Kale tightly and whispering in a language Liam didn't understand, something that sounded like a promise or a prayer. One night, Liam was outside fixing a solar panel when his scanner beeped. A small drone passed overhead, black and quiet, almost invisible against the dark sky. That wasn't a rescue drone. It was a scout. And it was searching for something, or someone. Liam ran back inside and found Zira wide awake, holding Kale close. She had seen it too. "Do you know who that is?" he asked. Zira looked at him. Her voice was quiet but firm. "They're looking for us." Liam's expression changed. "Why?" She hesitated. Then she opened the silver badge and showed it to him. It glowed faintly with a symbol, an ancient royal crest. Liam stared at it. He had seen many alien signs before, but this one was known across the stars. It belonged to a powerful royal family from the Velarin Empire, a kingdom that recently collapsed in a brutal civil war. Zira looked him in the eyes. "We're not just orphans," she said softly. "We are the last." Liam took a deep breath. In that moment he understood everything. These weren't just children, they were royal heirs, and someone out there wanted them gone. He looked at them, Zira's brave eyes, Kale's sleepy face, and made a silent promise. He would protect them, no matter what. After Zira told the truth, Liam could not sleep that night. He sat outside his small shelter under the cold sky of Naros 9, thinking deeply. The two children inside were not ordinary survivors. They were the last royal heirs of the Velarin Empire. And that meant trouble. Big trouble. He had seen the royal crest on the badge Zira showed him. It was real. And now, dark ships were searching this area. Drones were scanning from above. It wasn't hard to guess who sent them. Someone powerful wanted Zira and Kale gone. But why? Why hunt children? Liam had seen how the galaxy worked. Many empires fought for power. If someone could destroy the royal bloodline, they could take control of Velarin space. With the heirs alive, the royal name still had meaning. Loyal followers could rise again. So, to stop rebellion, someone wanted to erase the heirs completely. He looked at the forest around him. Quiet, but not safe anymore. The next morning, Liam started building defenses. He didn't tell the children much. He didn't want them to be scared. Instead, he acted normal. He made breakfast, smiled, and told jokes. But in the background, he worked fast. He set up motion sensors around the shelter. He recharged the power shields. He checked the hidden tunnel that led to a nearby cave. He had dug it long ago as an escape path in case of wild animal attacks. Zira noticed everything. She watched him closely as he set small traps, moved weapons into reach, and programmed the defense drone to stay. "Close at night, you think they're coming soon?" she asked. Liam nodded. "Yes, they sent a drone. That means they're searching." "Will you send us away?" Liam stopped and looked at her. "No. I told you I'll protect you. I meant it." Zira looked down. Her voice was soft. "Many people said that before. Most of them died." Liam placed a hand on her shoulder. "I'm not most people." That night, while Kale was asleep, Zira told Liam more about what happened. "There was a war," she said. "Our family was attacked by someone inside the palace. A general named Voss. He wanted power, not peace. My mother knew we were in danger. She told her guards to hide me and Kale on a secret ship. We escaped, but only just." Tears touched her eyes, but she wiped them quickly. "The ship was hit while jumping. We crashed here. Everyone else, they didn't survive." Liam stayed quiet. He let her speak. "I didn't know what to do. I just held Kale and waited. I hoped someone kind would find us." She looked up at him. "You did." Liam smiled gently. Sometimes the galaxy gives second chances. We have to protect them. Zira nodded, her face calm but strong. 3 days passed. The scanner beeped twice. Unmarked ships were flying closer now. Liam knew they were getting near. He called an old friend, Mara, a smuggler and ex-pilot who owed him a favor. She lived on a nearby moon and knew how to move without being seen. He told her part of the truth, that he was helping 2 special kids escape bad people. She agreed to help, but said, "If those are who I think they are, Liam, you're sitting on a storm." "I know," he replied. "That's why I need you." They made a plan. In 2 days she would arrive at the canyon nearby, but Liam had to keep the kids safe until then. That evening, Liam taught Zira how to use a small blaster. She had quick hands and sharp eyes. He also gave Kale a scanner toy that could detect motion. It made him smile and feel brave. Everything seemed calm, until the warning alarm buzzed. Liam looked at the screen, 2 ground signals, moving fast, less than 1 kilometer away. "They found us," he said. Zira's face turned pale. Kale grabbed her hand tightly. "Go to the tunnel," Liam said quickly. "Now, take Kale, stay low, I'll hold them off." Zira didn't argue. She knew this moment would come. She ran with Kale into the back room, opening the floor panel that led to the hidden tunnel. Liam grabbed his rifle, activated the outside defense drone, and locked the front door. Within minutes, shadows moved between the trees. They wore black armor, their faces hidden behind masks. They didn't knock. They fired. Blaster shots hit the shield around the shelter, causing sparks to fly. The force field held, but only barely. Liam fired back. His shots were precise, targeting the attacker's feet and hands. He didn't aim to kill. Just stop them. One enemy drone flew overhead, but Liam used his modified turret to bring it down. The machine exploded mid-air. Inside the tunnel, Zira and Kale listened to the sounds above. Kale was scared, but Zira held him tight. "Liam won't lose," she said softly. "He's not like the others." The fight lasted 15 minutes. When the smoke cleared, the attackers were gone, injured or retreated. Liam stood with his weapon still smoking, breathing hard. One cut on his arm was bleeding, but he didn't care. He walked back inside and opened the tunnel hatch. "They're gone," he said. "You're safe." Kyle ran to him and hugged him. Zira followed slowly, her eyes wide. "You fought them." "For us." Liam smiled tiredly. "Told you I'm not most people." Later, as Liam cleaned his wound, Zira sat beside him. "Why do you care so much?" she asked. "You could have let us go. You could have called someone else." Liam looked at her. His voice was quiet but firm. "Because I saw 2 scared kids in the wreckage, and no one, royal or not, deserves to be hunted like animals. I care because someone has to." Zira looked down, touched by his words. "Thank you," she whispered. That night, Liam didn't sleep. He stayed outside, watching the stars with his weapon beside him. Tomorrow they would meet Mara. Tomorrow they would try to escape. But tonight, he stood guard, not just for safety, but because these 2 children had become more than guests. They were family now, and Liam would protect them until his last breath. The next morning arrived quietly, but Liam was already up. He checked the scanner first. No signals, no movement. The attackers had vanished for now. But Liam knew this was just a short pause. More would come soon, and stronger. Inside the shelter, Kale was still sleeping, his small hands holding the scanner toy Liam gave him. Zira sat by the window watching the sky. Her eyes looked tired but calm. Liam walked in and gave her a warm drink. "We leave tonight." Zira nodded. "The smuggler?" "Yes. Mara, she'll meet us at the canyon. We have one chance to get off this planet. If we miss it, there may not be another." Zira looked at her brother. "He's just a child. He doesn't know how big this is." Liam smiled. "That's why we protect him. He deserves a future." Zira looked at him, her eyes soft. "So do you." The day moved slowly. Liam packed everything they needed: food, water, emergency kits, spare weapons, and power cells. He gave Zira a small communicator and taught her how to use it. Kale carried a small bag with only one thing inside: a glowing crystal that once belonged to their mother. "This is home," Kale said, looking around. Liam knelt beside him. "No, kid. You are home. Zira is home. You stay together and you carry your world with you." Kale didn't fully understand, but he smiled anyway. That evening, they left the shelter. Liam activated a self-destruct system that would blow up the entire place if someone broke in. He didn't want any trackers to find out where they had been. The stars were slowly appearing above them as they walked through the forest. The canyon was 5 kilometers away. The path was quiet, but not safe. Liam stayed alert. Zira kept Kale close. Every few minutes, Liam stopped to check the scanner. When they were halfway there, the scanner beeped. Liam raised his hand. "Stop. Movement." Zira held Kale tightly. "How far?" 300 meters. "Small ship, no heat signature, it's a hunter drone. Could be scouting." They waited behind rocks for several minutes. The drone passed slowly overhead but didn't detect them. When it disappeared, Liam gave the signal to move. They kept walking until they reached the canyon edge. Below, in the shadows, a small silver ship waited. It was half hidden behind large rocks with green lights blinking faintly near the engine. Liam smiled. "That's Mara. Right on time." Mara stood outside her ship, wearing a long black coat and a headset. She was human, with sharp eyes and a clever smile. "Well, well," she said. "You weren't lying, Liam. These kids, they're royal blood." Zira stood straight. "We didn't ask for this." Mara raised her hands. "Easy, princess. I'm here to help." Kyle hid behind his sister, watching Mara closely. Liam walked forward. "Can your ship get past the patrol lines?" Mara nodded. "Barely. I've got a stealth module and a backup jump drive. We'll have to go dark for most of the flight. No lights, no signals. But if we time it right, we can make it." Zira looked up at Liam. "You're coming too, right?" Liam hesitated. He looked at the ship, then at the trees. "No," he said. Zira's eyes widened. "Why not?" "They'll follow the ship. If I stay, I can lead them away, trick them. Buy you time, you'll be safe." Zira grabbed his arm. "We need you." Liam gave a sad smile. "You don't. Not anymore. You're strong now. You'll survive." Kyle ran forward. "Please come." Liam knelt and hugged the boy tightly. "You saved me, Kyle. Now I'm saving you." Suddenly, a loud noise echoed in the sky. Zira looked up. "They found us." Liam looked at Mara. "Go, now." Mara ran toward the ship and opened the door. "Inside, quickly." Zira pulled Kyle into the ship, but she stopped at the door and looked back. "Liam!" He looked at her with proud eyes. "Remember who you are and don't let the stars change that." She nodded once. A tear ran down her cheek. Then the door closed. Mara's ship lifted off the ground just as 2 black fighters appeared on the horizon. They fired, but Mara was ready. The ship spun, dodged, and vanished behind a large rock formation. A second later, it jumped into the sky, disappearing into space. Liam stayed behind the rocks, watching enemy fighters pass overhead. He threw a small beacon into the trees. It lit up, creating a false energy signal. The fighters turned and followed it. Liam ran in the opposite direction. He smiled, even as danger closed in. Zira and Kyle were safe. That was enough. Meanwhile, in the ship, Zira sat by the window, holding Kyle's hand. "Where are we going?" he asked. "To a safer place. Somewhere no one knows us." Kale held the crystal tightly. "Will Liam find us again?" Zira looked at the stars and whispered, "One day, I hope so." Mara looked back from the pilot's seat. "You kids are tough. You're going to make it." Zira nodded. "We have to." She didn't know what the future would bring, but she knew one thing: they would survive, because one kind human had shown them how. The stars were bright as Mara's ship flew silently through space. Inside, Zira sat near a window, her eyes fixed on the endless black sky. Kyle was asleep, his head resting on her lap. The glowing crystal from their mother rested near his small, and Zira felt empty. Safe, yes, but not at peace. She kept thinking about Liam. Was he still alive? Did he escape those fighters? Mara noticed her silence. He's a smart man, Mara said. Liam knows how to vanish. Zira looked at her. He stayed for us. Mara nodded. That's what people do when they care. Now it's your turn, to keep Kale safe. Zira sat straighter. I will. After 2 hours of silent flight, the ship slowed down. Mara turned off all lights and activated a dark mode. We're close, she said. There's a planet nearby, off the main charts, very old, covered in fog and mountains, perfect for hiding. Zira looked curious. What's it called? Ellerin 6. Almost no one lives there now. But there's an old station. I know the owner. He's quiet, doesn't ask questions. The ship broke through a thick layer of space, fog. A dark gray planet appeared ahead with tall mountains and rivers of mist rolling between them. It looked peaceful, but mysterious. Mara landed the ship in a deep valley hidden between two cliffs. A small building stood in the distance, its lights dim. Trees surrounded the area, and the wind made a soft howling sound. Mara helped the children down. Stay close. This place may be quiet, but we don't take chances. An old man stepped out of the building. His skin was dark, and his long silver beard reached his chest. His name was Orcs. He didn't speak much. He just looked at the children, then nodded at Mara. They can stay, but not for long. Zira stepped forward. We only need time. Just a little. Orcs gave her a blanket. Then come inside. The inside of the station was warm and simple. No fancy machines, just basic lights, wooden chairs, and thick walls. Kyle woke up and looked around sleepily. Where are we? He asked. Zira smiled gently. A safe place, Kyle. A new home. For now. Mara gave them both fresh clothes. Blend in. No more royal symbols, no fancy names. Zira understood. From now on, we're just travelers. Orcs prepared a small room for them. 2 beds, a small window. It wasn't much, but it felt safe. That night, as Kale slept, Zira stared out the window again. She whispered Liam's name into the quiet air. Over the next few days, Zira and Kale helped Orcs with small tasks, carrying supplies, cleaning equipment, and sorting old tools. Orcs didn't talk much, but he watched them closely. Zira trained with Mara during free hours. Mara showed her how to fire different weapons, how to read maps, and how to move without making a sound. You'll need these skills, Mara said. One day someone might find you again. Zira nodded. I don't want to run forever, I want to fight. Mara smiled. Spoken like a royal, Zira didn't reply. She just aimed the blaster and fired, hitting the center of the metal target. One evening, while sorting supplies, Kale found a broken drone in the back of the station. He brought it to Zira. Can we fix it? She smiled. Maybe. Let's try. They worked together, using old parts and simple tools. Slowly, piece by piece, the drone began to light up again. Kyle laughed as it hovered a few inches off the floor. You did great, Zira said, just like Papa used to. Kyle's smile faded. Do you think he's still alive? Zira's heart hurt, but she nodded. Maybe, but even if he's not, we'll carry his name. We'll carry all of them. But peace never lasted long. 1 night, Mara rushed into their room, her face tense. We have a problem, she said. Zira stood quickly. What happened? There's a bounty. Someone placed it on 2 missing high-value children. No names. But the image? It's you and Kale. The reward is huge. Someone will come. Zira's hands tightened into fists. They found us again. Orcs walked in behind Mara. You can't stay here now. This place is no longer safe. Kyle looked confused. But where do we go? Zira held him close. Somewhere new, somewhere safer. Mara touched Zira's shoulder. There's one last place. A deep colony in the drift fields, full of exiles, lost traders, and forgotten families. You'll blend in. Zira looked at Kale, then back at Mara. Can you take us? Mara shook her head. No. My ship was tracked. They'll follow me. But I know someone who can. Later that night, while packing, Zira found something near her bed, a small black box. She didn't remember bringing it. She opened it slowly. Inside was a message chip. She inserted it into the screen. Liam's face appeared. Zira, Kale, if you're seeing this, then you're still alive. Good. That means I did my job. His voice was calm but warm. I don't know where you'll be when this reaches you. But I want you to remember something. You are more than royal blood. Your hope. Your strength. Don't ever forget that. Zira held back tears as the message ended. Kale hugged her tightly. I miss him, he said. Me too, Zira whispered. The next morning, a small hidden shuttle arrived. It was old and scratched, but strong. The pilot was a woman named Sira, quiet and kind. Zira and Kale said goodbye to Oric. He handed them a small metal coin. This will open a door one day, when the time is right. Zira looked at it. What door? He smiled. You'll know when you're ready. Mara gave Zira a long hug. Keep him safe, and keep yourself sharp. Zira nodded. I will, and one day I'll fight back. Mara smiled. That's the spirit. As the shuttle flew away from Alaran 6, Zira looked out at the dark space ahead. She didn't know where the next chapter would lead, but she had Kale. She had the coin, and now she had a purpose. They weren't just survivors, they were the future. The shuttle flew silently through the stars. Zira sat beside the window, her hand resting gently on Kale's shoulder. He had fallen asleep again, holding the small glowing crystal from their mother. The stars outside passed slowly, and the silence of space felt endless. Zira, the pilot, was focused on the controls. She didn't talk much, but her eyes were kind and calm. Zira whispered to herself. Almost there. Their destination was the drift fields, a hidden colony far from the center of the galaxy. It was where broken people found peace, where no one cared about bloodlines or politics. It was the only place left to hide. After many hours, the ship reached the drift fields. From above, the colony looked like a floating city inside a giant asteroid. Lights flickered below. Ships moved slowly across the sky, and strange towers reached toward the stars like old fingers. Zira guided the shuttle into a small landing bay. As the ship touched down, Zira took a deep breath. She woke Kale gently. We're here. He rubbed his eyes. Is this home? Zira nodded. For now, yes. They stepped off the ship. The air smelled different, thick with oil and heat. Sounds of engines, voices, and music filled the air. It was a place full of strangers. But Zira didn't feel afraid. They walked through a crowded market. Beings of all shapes and colors sold food, tools, and parts. Some looked at the children, but no one asked questions. In this place, secrets were normal. Zira led them to a small apartment in a quiet corner of the colony. It was simple. 2 beds, a table, and a small screen. Zira looked around. It's perfect. Zira gave her a communicator. If anything happens, call me. I'll be nearby. Zira bowed her head slightly. Thank you. Zira smiled once, then walked away. Zira turned to Kale. This is our new home. We'll stay here. We'll rest. And then, we'll grow strong. Kyle nodded. I miss Liam. Zira looked at the stars through the window. I do too. Days passed quietly. Zira worked at a repair shop run by an old insect-like alien named Tirak. He didn't speak much but paid her fairly. She learned how to fix engines, clean parts, and understand different machines. Kyle studied at a small learning center nearby. He made a few friends and liked to play with scrap drones during breaks. Every evening Zira trained. She used a wooden stick to practice her moves. She remembered what Mara taught her: how to stay quiet, how to fight fast, how to think ahead. 1. Night. Kyle watched her silently. "You're getting strong," he said. Zira smiled. "So are you." But one day everything changed again. Zira was working at the shop when a stranger entered. He wore a dark cloak and had a metal patch over one eye. He looked around, then stared at her for a long time. "You're not from here," he said. Zira's heart beat faster. "Just a traveler." The man leaned closer. "You remind me of someone powerful." Zira didn't reply. Later that night, she found a small chip on her door. It had one sentence written on it: "The Empire remembers." Zira knew they couldn't hide forever. That evening, she took out the small metal coin Orc had given her. She looked at it for a long time. "Is this the time?" she whispered. Kale sat beside her. "What is it?" "A key," she said. "To something important." She turned the coin in her hand. Suddenly it glowed softly. A small projection appeared, an old map. A star system blinked red. She didn't know what was there, but she knew it was calling them. "Get ready," Zira told Kyle. "We're leaving, again." With help from a few friendly traders, Zira and Kale got a small ship. It was slow but strong enough to reach the marked star system. Zira flew it herself. Kale helped by reading the map and watching the radar. They traveled for 2 days. Finally, they arrived. A small planet floated alone in space. No lights, no buildings. Zira landed the ship near a mountain. They walked carefully until they found a large door hidden in the rock. The coin glowed again and floated toward a small slot. It clicked. The door opened. Inside was a forgotten base. Lights turned on slowly. Dust filled the air, but the power still worked. Zira and Kyle walked through dark halls until they reached a round chamber. In the center stood a machine with a blue core. A voice echoed from the walls. "Royal blood confirmed. Welcome, heirs of Alarion." Zira stepped back. "What is this?" The voice replied. "A legacy, a future. This place was built for the true rulers of the Orion crown. It holds knowledge, defense, and hope." Kale stared in wonder. Screens lit up around them showing star maps, codes, old family records, and more. They had found a royal safe house, left behind long ago, waiting for the rightful heirs to return. Over the next few days, Zira and Kale studied everything. Zira learned about the Empire's fall, the secret groups who destroyed her family, and the loyalists who waited for their return. Kale found a small droid that remembered their parents. It showed him pictures and told him stories. Zira stood in the command center, her hands on the panel. She looked stronger now, her eyes focused, her back straight. "I'm ready," she said. Kyle looked at her. "For what?" "To lead." But Zira didn't want revenge. She didn't want to rule with fear. She wanted to build something new, something better. A home where no child would be hunted. A future where kindness had power. She sent a message out through the ancient system. To those who still believe, "We are alive, we are ready. The line of Alarion continues, not to take but to protect. If you are loyal to peace, join us." The message spread like fire, quietly but strongly. Across the stars, old allies heard it, and slowly, they began to return. Back in the base, Zira stood beside Kale looking out at the stars. "We were orphans," she said softly. "Now we're something more." Kale smiled. "We're the children of the stars." Zira nodded. "Yes, and thanks to one kind human, we got the chance to shine."